Good evening, and welcome to the Greater Hardin County Women's Network and NAACP Hardin County Branch Radcliff City Council Candidates Forum. My name is Lacey Rice Jr. I am your moderator, and Ms. Joyce Williams is your timekeeper. Today, we will have the candidates for Radcliff City Council to tell you their vision for the city, and I would encourage you to vote for them. There were several candidates who could not be here. They did have prior engagements. So nobody just blew anyone off or anything else like that. All of them did say they had prior engagements. They didn't need to tell me what they were, but they did. So if you do see any of those candidates who are not up here, please address any concerns that you want, ask some questions, get the information that you want or that you need so that you can make an informed decision in November at the ballot box. Today, these candidates will start with a 30-second opening. They will have 45 seconds to answer each question. And at the end, they will have 1 minute to convince you to vote for them at the general election. Okay. Now, I'm going to go over some house rules again. And this time, I did not say this the first time. If you have a mobile device, please either turn it off or put it on silent. We do not want to interrupt any of our candidates while they are talking because their time is very precious. If you need to move around, do not move in front of the audience at all. We have a couple of cameras here. Okay? And this will be recorded and it will be replayed on Hardin County Educational Television. We also ask that if you do need to move around, that you do so silently. Because frankly, my cameras are very sensitive and they pick up anything. So we also ask that you do not applaud, you don't do any side talking or anything else like that might be picked up by these microphones on these cameras. Okay? So we're hoping that you will remain the great audience that we had during the previous candidates forum. The mayoral candidates did a great job. And so now it's time for the city council candidates to step up and try to outdo what those mayoral candidates did. So with that being said, we are now starting the Radcliff City Council forum. Our first speaker, introducing herself, is Councilwoman Pam DeRoache.
Good evening, everyone, and nice to see your smiling faces out here tonight. My name is Pam DeRoache, and I am finishing my 4th term on Radcliff City Council. I have lived my whole life here and have been in banking for, I'm going to tell my age, 46 years. And so 41 of those have been in Radcliff. So I feel that that has led to my ability to do a good job on City Council. Thank you.
Hello everybody, it's great to see all of you show up. Thank you very much to the Hardin County NAACP for helping host this, and thank you for inviting me. My name is Serenity Johnson. I am number 4 on the ballot this year, and like pretty much everybody else up here, I'm running for Radcliff City Council. And so I'm really excited to hear from everybody. You're going to hear a lot of things about what we feel about for Radcliff and what we think need to be done. And so let's go ahead and get started with it.
everybody. My name is Maria Bell, and I want to thank you for voting for me in 2024, voting for me at the primaries 2025, and please vote again for 2026. I am on my second term, and my number is 12, and I am just a doer, a responder, being there, done that, being next to the next task. I am here almost.
Thanks everyone for being here this evening. My name is Lynette Kennedy and I am number 7 on the ballot. I am excited to run for Radcliff City Council, and I have been living in the community now for 20 years, and I'm just excited to be here today. So I just look forward to the forum today and look forward to getting to know my fellow co-workers, maybe.
Hello everyone, my name is LaQuita Gaskins. I retired here in Radcliff, Kentucky with my family. We are farmers as well as retired military soldiers. We raised our children here, now our grandkids, and now our grandkids are starting having their kids. Yes, I'm a great grandmother and I'm proud of that, and I'm proud to be a citizen in Radcliff.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Bob Mahanna, number 6 on the ballot. So I am a lifelong resident of Radcliff. Radcliff is home to me. It's very special to me, and what my intent tonight is to convince you to vote for me for one of those 6 positions. Thank you very much.
Good evening. Quick story, Jerry Brown. My phone rang a few mornings ago. A citizen said, I called City Hall about a problem that I'm having. And they said, give Jerry Brown a call. He's the guy who gets things done. I called the police chief, we worked the things out, talked to the resident, got things fixed up. I've been on council several years. I'm wanting to help you. Anything you need, I'm proud to stand up for you. Thank you.
I'm Mitchell McLaurin, and I'm running for Radcliff City Council. I'm a proud United States Army veteran soldier who is retired. I'm a federal worker. I've been doing this job for many years. I am a graduate of the MBA course. I'm a Lean Six Sigma graduate, and I manage a budget for the federal government in the billions of dollars. And I have never lost a dime. And I'm ready to work for the city of Radcliff so we can make it great for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Johnson, what experience do you have working on a major committee or commission?
I don't have a lot of direct experience. I'm new to this role, but I have been attending my city council meetings since 2023, before I even knew that I was going to run. And so I've seen how the city council operates. I've seen how they work. I've seen how the process goes. And so I'm ready to hit the ground running when the time comes. That answers it.
Same question?
Yes.
I am a business owner all my life. At 18 years old, when I started the job, pretty much I moved straight to having a business the next year. I have a non-profit organization called Be the Change Inc. I formed at the pandemic. I am the founder. I am the executive registered agent, and I am the chef. I use my talent as being by trade a chef, and I cook meals and I deliver, or they pick it up. I am very much involved in the community. I answer my phone all the time. I hear from people asking this and asking that. Thank you so much.
Could you repeat the question again?
Yes. What experience do you have working on a major committee or commission?
My experience with working on a major committee or commission, I have several of them, but I'll just give you one brief one, is when I became the homeless liaison for Hardin County Schools. It was a blank sheet of paper. There was no direction or anything for that. And with that said, I was able to form a committee, form volunteers, work with 23 schools to come together so we can come up with a format. And as of today in our community, this homeless liaison position is a livable wage position that's lasting throughout the county. So I'm just really excited about that project that I was able to bring to our county that still stands today.
Repeat the question, please.
What experience do you have working on a major committee or commission?
Well, the major committee and commission that I've worked on is in the United States Army. I've worked on mini budget with the SPC, which is Special Process Center, RCF, which is the Regional Prison System. I was there in NCOIC. I left that program and started my own foundation, which is called Shiloh City of Peace Foundation. We opened an arm here in the Hardin County area called Guardianship Service of Kentucky. We do land, bread, housing, education, clothing, and justice. And we also work with the police department, the school system, the DJJ services, child protective services, and a lot of other wholesale organizations with their funding to house people in our community.
So, again, Bob Mahanna, just want to make sure everybody remembers that. So, my experience with commissions, I'm currently on the Radcliff Planning Commission. I'm serving there, been serving there for the last year. In my professional life as a safety manager, I've sat on a number of committees. Multi-million-dollar budgets, we've managed those budgets, we've put together safety committees, we've reduced injuries, we've made safe workplaces for everybody. So from my professional standpoint, a lot of experience dealing with committees and dealing with trying to make things better, and that's what I want to do for Radcliff.
I've been wrestling with that question since it was asked, and it's very difficult. The only thing I can offer is that Jerry Brown is an adaptable person. I can work with anything, with any subject. I have the educational background. There is so much across a vast area that I've studied. Insurance. Obviously, once you get in front of a group, your mind kind of goes blank sometimes, and that's what mine is doing. But my education, my experience really counts for a lot. I owned a bookstore for 40 years, never missed a payroll in 40 years, never missed a payment to Uncle Sam in 40 years. You know, I'm just proud to have been a citizen here, proud to have contributed to this great community. Thank you.
Thank you. Excellent question. I have used my Lean Six Sigma skills just recently. I have many projects I could explain on. I managed over 40,000 soldiers' lives and careers. So I could go countless on different things I have done for them. But just recently, in the last 2 weeks, I managed to rearrange the budget for over $3 million. And set that forward, briefed on it, and it was very successful. And we'll work that budget for $3 million next year. And I'm sure it's going to work just like all the other ones, without any dime being missed, any dime being misused, because when you have a plan and you stick with it, it always works. There may be changes you have to make. Make a plan and stick with it. Thank you.
That's okay. My name is Pam DeRoache, and I have been on the board for the Radcliff Cultural Festival, and I think we have had very successful several years of coordinating vendors and raising money and having hundreds of people show up to those festivals. In addition to that, I was the president of the North Hardin Band Boosters that had about 150 students that we had to move from one event to another over several months, and so I was proud of that initiative. And then currently on Radcliff City Council, I think, you know, helping to balance our budget year after year, I've been very proud that we have been able to balance that budget without any debt. But as our candidates were talking earlier, to maybe to move forward and do some positive things. And so I'm looking forward to doing that.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
You'll be first.
Ms. Bell. Ms. Bell,
Yes.
describe Radcliffe.
Radcliff is Radcliff. It has the northern part, the southern part, the northeast part, and the southeast part, the southwest and the northwest. Each one represents a certain amount of people that I am very well aware and met them. Economic standards, poverty line, medium class, richness, thinking that it's richness. Beautiful people, nice people, wonderful friends once they
The question was, describe Radcliffe. Radcliffe to me is home. It's a place that has been a home for me for the last 20 years. I have raised all 5 of my children here in Radcliffe, and I am raising my grandchildren here in Radcliffe. So I'm really proud to be a resident of Radcliffe. I'm a homeowner in Radcliffe, and that makes me proud. Every single day I'm out on my street making sure everybody's trash cans get back up in the thing. So that's what Radcliffe is to me, is a community. We're all working together and no one should be left behind. So that's what's important to me, is Radcliffe is a community working together that no one is left behind. That's Radcliffe for me. My name is Lynette Kennedy and I approve this message.
Radcliffe is a city that is growing. It's diversified, it has a multicultural, multi-religions. It's a team of people who work hard together day by day. A median wage for our community is about $30,000 to a home. There's some that makes way more than that, and there's some that makes a lot less than that. But people like me, we grow farms, we bring agriculture in, we pass out the goods and services that we have. We pass out the goods and services that we have to work together with each other. We share our homes, we share our kids, we share our education, lessons learned. Radcliffe to me is my home now. And I enjoy Radcliffe. I own a business, I own housing, I help other people develop housing, and I look out for the young people in our community.
Change the mic.
I don't need a microphone, I'm loud. So, what is Radcliffe? Radcliffe is a very diverse community. It's made up of people of all races, all levels of income, and that's what makes Radcliffe so great. If we need something, there's someone in Radcliffe that can take care of it. So, by having a very diverse community and having people that can take care of things, we've got most everything licked. And we can manage and we can take off from that. So we've got to utilize the diversity of our community and make sure that we maintain the diversity of our community and maintain our military backgrounds. Thank you.
No, you're okay. It's just that, please don't walk too far that way. That's one reason why it's cutting off. Sort of stay right about there.
Hi, I'm Jerry Brown. First thought that popped into my mind was something I love to do, and that's walk door to door. And in so doing, I discover who really lives in Radcliffe. You look at the front doors, the yards, you get a chance to look at the landscaping, and then you talk to the people. People in Radcliffe are much more intelligent than they are in most communities. People in Radcliffe have educations. People in Radcliffe are better off. look at the vehicles in the yards, on the curbs, too close, better. You find that obviously people are well off here. So it's great to talk to them. The better educated, better off, and thank you.
What's Radcliffe? Radcliffe is a town where people want to get up in the morning, go to work, and go home and go and be safe. That's what Radcliffe is. It's a town where you want to raise your family. It's a town where you want to see people grow. But it's also a town where you want your kids, that when they finish school, to be able to find a job where they can sustain their family and stay in the city. Radcliffe is home to all of us, in some form or another. Whether we was born here, or whether the military brought us here, and we decided to make this our home. It was a choice, but the bottom line, Radcliffe is home. Thank you.
So many of us are saying this, it is home, and it's a great place to live, work, and play. And as far as diversity, our cultural festival was started because of that. We wanted to celebrate our diversity and love on each other. So it is a great place with a lot of potential, so.
I think everybody had a lot of great answers because this is home. This is not the place where I was born, but Radcliffe is a place that I chose to live, and so far I have not regretted it at all. We are diverse. We come from so many different backgrounds, talking to people at the doors. You'll meet people from every state at some point. We have Fort Knox in part to thank for that. But I think another thing that we need to remember is that Radcliffe is resilient. We have changed so many times over the years. And we're going to be ready to change again as the future comes. And so the new council will be playing a part in that. So I'm excited.
Ms. Kennedy, what is the most important issue facing Radcliffe?
For me, the most important issue that we're facing in Radcliffe is public safety. And why I say public safety is when you have a city and the police officers are going out to whatever situation that's going on, I feel that we need somebody to go with the police officers or for the police officers to turn that over with, to work with them, to help them. Because to not have an advocate on behalf of whatever's going on, it just makes it all confusing for people. Now, people may not be familiar with this, but we need to have somebody there that the police officers can hand that back down to because they just can't do that on their own. So that's what I feel the most important issue is.
Well, a lot of my work in the community is boots on the ground. And so to me, the biggest challenges that we're having right now is affordable housing and the ability for over half of the citizens in our community to get the ability to be able to buy groceries, proper food. We're having a really bad shortage in that area.
So what I think the most important thing facing Radcliffe right now is to continue economic development and economic growth. Because with economic growth and economic development, we are going to see all of the other things fall into place. We'll be able to increase our police force. We'll be able to increase our fire department. We'll be able to do more with public works. So across the board, our biggest challenge is maintaining economic development.
I believe perception remains the most challenging obstacle that we need to face. Radcliffe still has a reputation as not being a great place to live. That goes back many years, and we have fought and fought and fought to overcome that. Everyone here, with maybe the exception of Pam Ogden, know what a great place Radcliffe is. We know how good our neighbors are. We know how good the schools are. We know how good the organizations, and churches are. We live in a wonderful place, but it's too well kept as far as a secret, and we need to keep sharing that secret. Radcliffe is fantastic.
I think one of the things we need to continue to focus on is the city growth. Jobs, sustainable jobs. I'm proud that I received sponsorship from the Hardin County, Kentucky Realtors Association, because I said if we can get sustainable jobs, our kids will stay in the city of Radcliffe, we can get affordable homes, and we can get what we need in the city. And how you do that? We know we're going to have a new mayor. Following the mayor's mission and purpose. Design your plan around their mission and purpose with the budget and with growth. I thank you.
Okay, I got it.
I have to agree with business development. That's probably our biggest challenge. What is our most important thing is public safety. As far as challenges, I think business development is an area that we really need to focus on. And I think we've got to get creative about how we bring businesses into Radcliffe. Because like it was already said, if we have business and we have jobs, then people will have more income and the ability to buy those homes that they need. So business development and multiple ways of reaching out to partners and commercial realtors, and I think Tosha Moreau talked about that in her comments.
I think one of Radcliffe's biggest challenges right now has been we have struggled to keep up with a lot of the growth in the rest of the county, especially around E-Town and the southern end. And some of that is part of what everybody else has touched on. We need to work on our fundamentals, building our businesses and keeping up with our road networks and our sidewalks, our amenities, our shops, and our stormwater management, stuff like that. But we also have to look outside of Radcliffe for some of these things. We need to continue to build relationships outside of Radcliffe, outside of our county, because we're not going to get any growth or any help if people don't see us or know who we are.
My name is Maria Bell. I work with a lot of families because of the nonprofit organization that I founded back in 2020. I see a lot of kids when I deliver food, a lot of kids wandering around. Boys and girls came last year in Radcliffe, and I believe it's not enough. We need a youth center to get all those kids in there, separate them in different classes and teach them trade, because a lot of kids also graduate and they don't know nothing to do but graduate. Thank you.
Dr. Gaskins, what would be your plan for managing the growth and future development of Radcliffe?
So my plan is to work with the team, the city council. If I'm able to be elected to be on the city council, I'm number 5 on the ballot. What I can offer is that I have a lot of experience with working on teams. I have a lot of experience with working with executive officers, executive personnel, legislation, the legal system. I'm very good at strategic planning and taking risks. I also like to have solutions to problems, not just problems, but solutions to problems. And I'm willing to work very hard with the new mayors to make a lot of good changes for our city, and starting with myself, getting more educated on what the city needs and coming up with a positive plan for that, and not just hip pocket chaining and talking.
I was going to ask you to repeat that question, please.
Yes. What would be your plan for managing the growth and future development of Radcliffe?
Okay. So the future development of Radcliffe and the future growth of Radcliffe lies right within Radcliffe, and that's our small businesses. We've got to maintain our small businesses. We've got to reduce restrictions on those small businesses to allow those businesses to grow. And as they grow, we profit from that. When we profit from that, we can attract bigger businesses, larger businesses, in even industry. But we've got to focus on maintaining what we have and protecting our small businesses and making it easier for them to operate within the city of Radcliffe.
Please repeat the question.
What would be your plan for managing the growth and future development of Radcliffe?
That encompasses so many areas. Hello?
Step back. Step back. Yes.
Cut it off.
That takes in so many. I'm going to pass on this question.
Well, the first thing I would do is sit down with the new mayor, because my ideas and my thoughts have to match the mayor's purpose and mission. Once that's established, we can't put everything on the mayor's back, on the mayor's pocket. Hey, the mayor is responsible for this. I'm going to go in and I'm going to sit down with my fellow council members, and I would ask the mayor, can I take this on? Can I take that on? And one of the things I like to take on is to help the city get an identity. You know, quit comparing ourselves to E-Town, quit comparing ourselves to Louisville. We're Radcliffe. And we need to establish things and put a date on it and move forward. Thank you.
Okay, as a council or as a team, I think we need to work with the mayor, and we've got to identify areas and pockets that we need to focus on. We're going to have to come up with a strategic plan and how we're going to work on trying to correct those areas. And I think we need to really work on developing a team that can do grant writing programs so that we can find ways to supplement what we have to make those areas of growth come about. So that would be my plan.
I think it's important that one of the first things we do is we realize that we are not E-Town. We can look to them for ideas, but we cannot one-to-one match what they do. We don't have direct access to I-65 and 2 different parkways. So we're going to have to be a little bit more creative. And like I said earlier, we're going to have to build relationships. And like several people mentioned, we have to tackle this as a team. We need to have a plan, and we need to implement that plan together.
Collaboration and sharing ideas is very important to make something, not just the city, but the whole world. If you listen to everybody's ideas and you express your own and sit down, that's when it happens. If we have different ideas, it's never going to happen.
Could you repeat the question?
Yes. What would be your plan for managing the growth and future development of Radcliffe?
My plan for future growth and development of Radcliffe, first of all, is to work with whichever woman will get this position and work with them. So whichever woman, I'm not saying nothing against the men that had the position before, but something different when a woman takes the pole, that we're gonna move some more things forward, not that we haven't. So that's first my plan, is just work with the mayor that is elected and work with the city council. And the reason why I'm running for city council is because those two wonderful ladies have ran and there's 2 empty seats available. So we're working with the team that's there or whatever the people decide to select. But also just remembering that not only Radcliff is a town, we are part of a county. You guys, you can't forget that. We're part of a county and all of us need to work together as a county, not just look at just Radcliff as a town.
Okay, Mr. Mahanna. Without speaking against the previous administration, why would you be considered the best person to help lead this city?
My biggest asset is I love this town. I was born and raised right here in Radcliff, and everything that I've done, I've served 40 years on the Radcliff Fire Department. I retired as assistant chief with the fire department, and everything that I've done here, all the way back to coaching youth softball, coaching high school softball, I love Radcliff. I will give my heart and my soul to this town. And I want everyone to understand that I will work hard every day. I will show up. I will be there, and I will cast votes.
Sir, please repeat.
One moment. Without speaking against the previous administration, why would you be considered the best person to lead this city?
Having owned a bookstore in Radcliff for 40 years, I learned that I couldn't have all of the answers. But if you reach out, we are such an educated, diverse city that a lot of people have answers. Not to include those people, regardless of where. Not to include the rest of the county, not to include the other counties and county seats in the state of Kentucky is a disservice. The city of Henderson, the city of Bowling Green, city of Covington are about the same size as Radcliff, or maybe a little larger, and they have great ideas. Let's use other ideas.
First, I just want to echo what you said. I personally don't have anything against anyone on the city council or the former mayor. But I will say this. I think that when we decide we're going to do things, this is the Lean Six Sigma in me. This is my foundational knowledge in me, that we need to establish dates. We've been talking about Mill Pond. We've been talking about Redmore Plaza. We've been talking about Summer Springs and all the other places. I've been hearing it ever since I've been here. We need to establish dates. And we need to let the community know what's going on. This doesn't happen when we thought it was, and this is one. Thank you very much.
So I don't think I signed up to be the leader of the city. I think I signed up to be a support person. And I feel like I'm a great support person, and I will be there to help that individual make things happen. I've been a banker for 46 years. I've already mentioned that before. But in my banking experience, bankers sometimes have a bad reputation. But if you come into my office, I'm going to help you fix whatever I can help you fix, or help you get that home, or whatever. I just feel like I'm a great support person, and I'm going to help you make it happen.
As I mentioned before, I've been attending my city council meetings for a long time now, before I knew I was going to run, so I know how things operate. I didn't just show up when I decided I was going to run. Also, as some of you know, I have a background in retail. And when you work in retail, you work with customers, and sometimes you just can't make the customer happy. And so you have to learn to work with people who don't agree with you. I also understand that as a leader, we all have big ideas. But sometimes part of being a leader is not just stepping up, but stepping aside, helping other people get their big ideas through so that you're working as a team. And sometimes that means you don't get the glory. And sometimes you have to learn that that's okay.
I am learning every day since 1997 when I arrived here in Fort Knox first and then Radcliff, Kentucky. I brought my culture, I brought my knowledge, I brought my spirit, and I reached so many people, and I'm still reaching a lot of people. When I hear my name, Maria, when I walk in the department store, there is Maria, that makes me not just a leader, it makes me. I don't know what it makes me. There are no words for that. I love the people and they love me. I've been there for them and they've been there for me.
Could you repeat the question?
Without speaking against the previous administration, why would you be considered the best person to lead the city?
First of all, I live in the city, and if I didn't think the current administration was doing a good job, I would have moved out of the city. That's number one, I would have moved. Because nobody's gonna stay nowhere where they don't feel safe, they don't feel that they're being supported, they don't feel that they're being heard. So the current administration has done a great job, and the current mayor has done a great job, and I'm proud to be a part of Radcliff. I'm proud to be a part of Hardin County. So with that said, what I would do any different is that I just want to be a team player. I want to be there to see what needs to be done and not criticize what has not been done, but let's see what we can move forward and what projects we can take forward. Because in the end, if it was that easy, we would all just throw millions of dollars at a project. It's not that easy. So just listen to what's out there. Thanks.
As a leader, you have to be willing to be a good follower. For many years of my life, I have been a giver, an assister, and a server in this community, in any community I ever served in throughout my life. I believe in strong leadership, so I don't have anything negative to say about the past city officials. If there was ever a time that I had a question, I always felt welcome to go in and speak to any of them about any concerns that I may have had. And they either educated me, assured me, and also assisted me in helping in any way that I could in the community. So I'm proud of the city, as well as me being a leader.
You've already answered. You'll be the first answer.
Thank you.
Mr. Brown, some of our congressional representatives have conducted several partisan meetings in our local towns, claiming that they represented the citizens of their state or district when they are on media platforms. If you are invited to such a meeting, will you strongly demand that leaders who represent a different ideology also be invited to truly express the views of the city?
Thank you for that interesting question. I have to admit I've not been invited to any meeting like that in which a different ideology is presented. That's something I'm not used to. But if you've listened to the city council meetings, there have been issues brought up that I disagreed with. There have been franchise issues that I thought were not serving the city of Radcliffe, and I spoke up. There have been tax issues where I thought we could continue to lower taxes, and I spoke up. Anytime I see unfairness, something that I disagree with, I'm 79. I don't give a hoot in heck who disagrees with me. I'm going to have my peace.
Just to make your question clear, I've been invited to meetings by stars. When I say stars, you in the military know what that means. And those invitations was one-sided invitations. So I went there to hear what they had to say, basically, even though it was a briefing. At the end, they might have asked me, what do you have to say? At that moment in time, I used my time and my words very wisely. So whoever you're invited, I don't care if it's a hot congressman, I don't care who invites you to a meeting. If you go in there and you go in there on your shoulder as the representative of the city, you go there with the invitation and you go there with custom and courtesy. Thank you very much.
I have to say, I like your answer. I don't think I've ever been put in that position either. So if you're invited and you're not given the opportunity to voice your opinion, I think dignity and respect is the way you handle anything and everything. So if given the opportunity, then I will ask my question in a polite manner. But I think we should always approach each other with dignity and respect, no matter who or where the situation may be.
So I think I kind of know the incident that this question is kind of referring to offhand, but it's hard to say one way or the other because it really depends on what it is. If I'm invited to a friend's fundraiser, it makes sense that the other side isn't there because that's just not how those things work. But there are times when you're invited to things and you need to kind of stand and think and look at what it is, and sometimes you take that invitation and you use your words either there, because that's an opportunity, or afterwards to voice your dissent, or about who isn't there. And sometimes you do step back and just don't know. But it really just depends on the situation and the event.
Life is equal for everybody, and everybody has an opinion. If you get to be invited and you accept it, then you know where you're going, and you probably will know what to expect. It's up to you to go or not to go from the first beginning. Once you go there, listen. You might not say anything, but just listening, it will be enough. It will give you the knowledge of somebody that does not have the same beliefs with you.
On part of the question, did you say something about social media on there?
I mentioned media.
Media, okay, just media. So with that said, if you were invited to any organization or anything, you have to be kind. You can't go in there being disrespectful and all being aggressive and you don't even know what's going on. But if they have said something in that meeting that doesn't agree with you and they said something about Radcliffe, then no, it depends on the form that is presented in, whether you would say something to give an opportunity to say something. But if I was given an opportunity to say something, I wouldn't necessarily correct the person right then, because that's not the correct thing to do with anybody, but I would just share my values in it and what we actually stand for in Radcliffe. So I would just reiterate what we stand for in Radcliffe, what we stand for in Hardin County, and I would just move forward with that. Thank you.
So I have been invited into the Lion's Den on many occasions. And from the White House to the Pentagon to even in our local community. And so with that being said, I always take candor, commitment, and courage with me. I've never been afraid to to ask a question. I don't believe that no question is a dumb question. So when I first go in, I'm very open-minded. I go there to listen, I go to learn. And then if I have an opportunity to share, everybody have an opinion. And I would make it known that it's my opinion, but I'm expecting to represent the vast majority of the people that have the same concerns or opinions as me, as best that I can. I would never walk in demanding anything because it won't get you far. You gotta use honey when you're dealing with vinegar.
So first of all, I'll say one thing. My father taught me a lot of things in his days and a lot of wisdom. And the biggest thing he taught me is respect. To go in and demand someone else invite someone to their meeting is inappropriate. However, I will attend the meeting because you're going to elect me as a city council member to represent you, and we need to be represented there. So I wouldn't turn it away, but I also am not going to disrespect that person by demanding anything from them. So go there, listen, take in what they say, speak my opinion, and then bring back what I learned from that meeting to the rest of the council, to the mayor, etc.
Okay. Mr. McLaurin, how would you balance economic growth with preserving Radcliffe's personal charm?
Well, that's not a hard thing to do. You know, economic growth, you want to grow Radcliffe, the city of Radcliffe. You can't grow Radcliffe like Louisville. So when you grow Radcliffe, you go grow it as the city that it's in. We're close to a military installation. We got a lot of military background. We got a country atmosphere. So when you grow, and another thing is, you let the whole city know about the growth. You let the whole city know what's going on. Don't just keep it in one part of the city. If everyone in the city knows what's going on, the city will grow together and it will move together. And you will keep that same charm that you had before you started. I thank you. I'm Mitchell McLaurin, City Council.
No. Go ahead. Keep the mic. I think this was getting to the last question, I believe.
Okay, Mr. McLaurin, you now have 1 minute
I'm sorry, none of them have answered that question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I believe we talked about how would we keep our charm. We are landlocked. I think that was brought up earlier in an earlier meeting. So we're not going to be a huge city because of the landlocked, but I would like to see us add to the charm. And I think there are ways that we can do that without spending a ton of money, but I would never take away. I would like to add to that charm.
I think one of the most important ways we do that, and it's already been mentioned a few times before, is realizing that Radcliffe is Radcliffe. We can't grow like Louisville or Lexington or even E-Town or Vine Grove or any of the other cities. We can look at what they do, but we need to make sure that we're taking it and making it work for us. Radcliffe is a city that has changed over the years. And there is a certain charm in that, especially as we grow with Fort Knox and as we've had our ups and downs. And making sure that we incorporate that, and especially making sure that we're communicating with the community, that we're hearing from them and speaking to them, and that we're growing together and not just forcing it for growth's sake.
I will tell everybody to come and drive around, talk to people, see the crowds at different department stores, and go to the park like those kids play outside right now, and talk to people. It's very important. And then I'm going to tell them, I came in 1997 and I'm still here.
why you think I'm still here. I could go to Portland, Oregon, and I did not. I'm still here. Thank you.
When you look at the economic growth and the personal charm, you gotta like keep it balanced. Because I hear a lot of people say like, we don't want any franchises coming to our town. We just want to keep it all small businesses. But you're gonna have to have a mixture of both in order for us to have the economic growth in our community. So with that said, I just see us focusing on what we do have, continue to bring the businesses here, continue to keep the personal charm by keeping the city clean, keeping it beautiful. That's going to make the charm, and then come up with an idea or a location that we want people to be able to come to visit Radcliff. I know we have the knife out there, but it's not in the center of Radcliff. So coming up with something that's down in this area where they'll be able to have. So that's how I feel that we'll keep the perfect charm for our city.
I feel that we should have more surveys done in our area, also more town hall meetings, more opportunities for us to fellowship together, have community events with one another. I also feel that I'm in a unique situation because where I live, we see generation after generation of young people growing up and flourishing. Take the time to talk to them, find out what their needs are, because we still have a lot of senior citizens and fragile people in our community. And so with being able to do surveys and do town hall meetings and put it out to the public enough time for them to be able to come to these events, that 10% that we see all the time, I would like to see at least 30% of more people from the community coming out. And that's how we learn to keep the charm. You can't know what the charm is if you don't know who the people are.
Well, the first thing you've got to do is define what is the charm. What is the charm of Radcliff? Well, I can tell you what I think the charm of Radcliff is its diversity. We've got so much here to offer. If someone's looking to move a business here, maybe it's a business that's going to promote Latin America. We've got people here that can grasp onto that and move that forward and make it work for Radcliff. So you look at the charm of Radcliff, what is the charm of Radcliff? It's the diversity. It's how diverse we are, how many different cultures that we have living right here, how many different ideas that we're able to grasp upon and take the city and move it forward. So diversity is where we are going to be able to best attack.
Nice. Yeah, I know I sound, is this coming through okay?
Yeah, we can hear you, Jerry.
Okay. I know I sound like a broken record, but please repeat the question one more time.
Essentially, how would you attract economic growth in Radcliff without changing its charm?
As I referenced a few moments ago, my age, as I look around, I see that the old guard is passing. General Tyndall, Colonel Owens. We need a fresh group, ambassadors from John Hardin, North Hardin. We need a leadership group stepping up from those schools, able to lead us forward. We're turning over a new leaf. We're going in a different direction. We have got to look to the future, and it takes fresh vision in order to do that. So let's cultivate our children.
It's going to be a different question.
Okay. Now, for this question, this is the end of our forum. So each candidate has 1 minute to do their wrap-up. This time, though, the mic will flow from Mr. McLaurin down to Ms. DeRoache. So after Ms. McLaurin, Mr. Brown will be next.
Okay, once again, thank you for this invitation. I am Mitchell McLaurin, and I'm running for Radcliff City Council. This is my first time running for the City Council. We know that we're going to see a leadership change in the city of Radcliff. We're going to have a new mayor. That new mayor is going to come with fresh ideas, fresh starts, a fresh charge. They're going to lead someone with the energy that they have. They're going to need someone with skill sets to help them accomplish what their mission and their purpose is. I come with that mission. I come with that purpose. I come with that skill set. I have a graduate degree in management. I manage the budget. I'm a finance manager. Over $3 million. I can't actually tell you the exact millions is because that's federal information. But I have the skill set, and I'm willing to work with a team. I have managed over 40,000 soldiers' careers throughout their life, and I'm ready. I'm ready, and I'm ready. Thank you. I look forward to your vote, 3 November.
If I were a baseball player, I'd be having an 0-4 day. I don't think I did anything out of the park today. I'm Jerry Brown. I've lived in Radcliff and northern Hardin County most of my life, since 1959. Went to North Hardin, served in Vietnam after I flunked out of ECC, used the GI Bill to come back and go to UK and get my degree in education. I taught at Fort Knox. After 3 years, I did what I wanted to do. I opened a bookstore, and that had been my heart's desire. I did that for 40 years. As I said earlier tonight, I met that payroll week after week for 40 years. I never missed a payment. Never got in trouble with the IRS. Never got in trouble with Uncle Sam. After that, when I retired, I worked as a deputy jailer for the Hardin County Detention Center. I'm here to learn, and I continue to learn. Thank you.
So again, I'm Bob Mahanna, number 6 on the ballot. We've heard a lot of questions tonight and a lot of answers, and it's a lot for everyone to try to go back and digest. What I'm going to tell you now is why you should vote for me. Again, I love this town. I'm born and raised in this town. I know people in this town. I worked in this town as a volunteer firefighter for 40 years. I'm ready for the challenge. My profession as a safety manager within the distilling industry and the chemical industry has prepared me for budgets, has prepared me for the challenges that I'm going to face. And my biggest thing is I'm an open book. I am who I am. I don't put on a facade. I don't try to kiss anybody's rear end to try to get a vote. I am who I am. I'm going to tell you the way it is. And I am going to work hard to make Radcliff grow, to make Radcliff a better place, and to make each one of you proud of me, and most of all, proud of this town. Thank you.
As you heard earlier, my name is LaQuita Gaskins. Some know me as a doctor, some know me as a minister. But what I would like to tell you all about me is that I'm a farmer, as well as a thinker, and I have shown that I'm capable of helping the city to do its work. The city has a lot of work that needs to be done. And with all the different degrees and experiences and jobs that I've had, I had a card that I passed around. I would like for you to scan that QR code and take a look at my resume, as well as some of the things that you heard tonight. And if your slate is full, think again, squeeze me in. I'm number 5 on the ballot. I will work hard for the city. I believe in being on time. If I'm on time, I'm late, so I like to be early. I can be counted on. I've I had perfect attendance throughout my school year, undergrad and colleges.
My name is Lynette Kennedy, and I am number 7 on the ballot. And the reason why you should vote for me is because I'm a pioneer. I have pioneered many of projects, not only for this community, but throughout the state of Kentucky. Right now, my latest pioneer project is at Family Scholar House at ECTC. It took a lot to be able to raise $9 million to bring that affordable housing to there, and then we had to raise an additional $3 million. So when I say pioneer, I'm not afraid to ask the tough questions. I'm not afraid to go in the room. I stand for what we stand for, what the people stand for. And so my campaign is on people, progress, and partnership. We can't depend on the people to get their information from Radcliff Shout Out. Sorry, we can't. So we need to come up with a thing for how people get the information. Progress is us moving forward and working with franchises and small businesses to make us grow. And then partnerships. We can't have this community without partnerships from our churches and without partnerships from everybody in small businesses in our community. So people, progress, and partnerships. Thank you.
My name is Maria Bell, and I am number 12 in the ballot. Next year, it will be exactly 30 years I have been in Radcliff. And I wouldn't change it for any city in the United States. When my husband, we came from Greece. He was in the Air Force. He passed in 2007. I took care of family, my kid. I have 1 kid and 3 grandkids. I all literally raised them, and I took care of everybody in the city of Radcliff. Anytime the phone rings, and you experienced it earlier, is Maria, help me. I need a room. Maria, help me. I need food. This is my everyday task. And that's why I didn't realize 30 years are gone. Thank you.
Just in case you forgot, my name is Serenity Johnson. I am number 4 on the ballot this year. This is my 2nd time running, as many of you probably already know. And when I lost the first time around, I knew that I didn't want to be the kind of person who just took her toys and went home. I continued to show up, I continued to find ways to stay engaged and stay involved, and I continued to learn. And I intend to continue to do that even after I'm elected on the council. We've talked a lot about the priorities we have, and when I approach priorities, the things I think about are we being proactive and not just reactive? Are we staying engaged and communicating with the community? And are we thinking about the future and how our actions affect the future? So, thank you again for the opportunity. I look forward to November. I hope that I have your vote, but I do thank you either way for your consideration. Serenity Johnson, number 4.
My name is Pam DeRoache, and as I mentioned earlier, I am finishing my 4th term on City Council. I think this is an exciting time. We have new opportunities of ways to look at our community, not just our city, but it looks like our county as well. So I am looking very forward to being back on council, if you'll have me. I'm number 1 on the ballot this time. I've got that fortunate draw of the number 1 seat this time on the ballot. But I look forward to exciting times, and I'd like to be a part of making sure that we move Radcliff forward in a positive way, but make sure that we do it in a balanced budget type of way. And I think we've got a lot of ideas, and I think we can make that happen. So I look forward to doing that again for you.
We wanted to thank the Radcliff City Council candidates. They did a good job. Please give them a hand. November the 3rd. That is the day that you need to go to your local poll and cast your vote. None of these candidates will be able to take office unless you do vote. And it is one of our civic duties as American citizens. So please, take the time to go vote on November the 3rd. If you have an issue that precludes you from voting on November the 3rd, get your absentee ballot. You get those from the state, the Kentucky Secretary of State. You can also go to the Hardin County Clerk office. You can go to the Hardin County. You go to the Hardin County Clerk office and register for your absentee ballot there. All of these candidates have taken a lot of time to campaign, and they've taken a lot of time to come here to present to you. So once again, please give them a hand for doing the job well. And with that said, this concludes our Radcliff City Council forum and the forums for tonight.